Heck of a story. I mean, Nate Oats was a high school coach just a little over a decade ago.
Yeah. Hot
and
Cheetos.
Teaching math.
Hey, how about this? Nate Oats was a high school coach 11 years ago. Dan Hurley was a high school coach 14 years ago. You know what this means? Bucky McMillan in 8 years is going to the Final Four. Lock it in.
Watch, it'll happen. It's like a Simpsons episode. I mean, I think that what Nate and Alabama have built is an example that if you've never been to something, right? Same thing with Purdue. Same thing with NC State for that matter. This is why this sport's so great. The variance level. You can build it. You can build it. You know, they brought in Aaron Estrada from Hofstra. They brought in Grant Nelson from North Dakota State. They have identified portal players who obviously have done great things for them. You know, off the bench on Saturday night, look at Jaron Stevenson.
Man, he was awesome.
He was outstanding. A guy averaging 5 points per game that's 19 and hits 5 threes. Why? Why does that happen? How does that happen? It happens based on your identity. They have a very effective culture and identity to play for. You want to be a part of Alabama basketball now if you're a player, because why? You're going to launch shots. You're going to have a green light. You're going to play with tempo. It's fun. And Nate has done an incredible job this season at two things. Number one, staying composed during a rough non-conference. He challenged himself. He is here right now because of that.
Yep.
They are battle-tested. When they entered the tournament, you could stack them against anybody, and you would not say that somebody is more battle-tested than they are after who they played in their out of league. And number two, I think playing off of Mark Sears, determining that Mark Sears was an All-American and that he's going to be, the best player for you every time, but then recognizing that Nick Pringle is going to be really important in this equation. The way, T.O., that they play their bigs in their system makes it really difficult to defend them because they just have such a versatility, such a tempo about how they play. And you know what else they do a great job of? Like, you could play fast. Teams play fast, but that doesn't mean you're playing well. They share it. They play with purpose. 20 assists on 29 makes against Clemson. And you know what? I don't see them beating Connecticut, but they do play a way and a style that allows them to potentially go on a surge against anybody in the country, which is what they've done this year. Hey guys, in December against Purdue, they started that game scalding hot. You can't make up for made shots. Like, you could talk strategy all you want, but this Alabama team, they just make shots. They're an elite shot making team. And their momentum based off it. That Purdue had to fight tooth and nail just to win the game, but came this close to, if they had gone on like a 3-minute cold spell, they would have lost the game. So I commend Alabama for challenging themselves in this era where some Big 12 teams and some other teams ran up the score and they're out of league. Alabama did not.
Hey, how many Big 12 teams made the Final Four? Fanta, do you know?
Yeah, that would be as many Final Fours as I've made.
Okay.
That would be. I mean, yeah, it's a big that would be the amount of times that you interrupted Jeff Goodman this past weekend in Boston.
Oh, I honestly was ready to, every time I would be starting to make a point, you'd be like, but no, but what about what I just said? But what about this thing that I just said 3 minutes ago talking about? What you're doing is wrong. Shut up.
Did you hear that Charleston hired a coach, Rob?
Oh, did they? Who'd they get? Luke Murray? Did he get hired?
Who'd they get, T.O.?
Chris Mack.
Brother and bowl. Tio, I want to ask you about I want your take on Alabama, but I also want you to talk a little bit about Brad Brunell. I know you're happy as hell for him for that run. Sucks
Yeah.
they didn't make it to the Final Four, but I mean, man, what a run! What a run for Clemson. They came a couple buckets away from making it to Phoenix, and you would have had to get to Phoenix if they made it to Phoenix.
Yeah, first Final Four for both teams. So I mean, it would have been that either way. And the thing was I felt like I had to say it because Clemson fans get a little up in arms even when they make the Elite Eight, because football fans for some reason don't compute basketball very well. You're going to lose games; those things happen. However, here's the thing with Clemson. I thought they played really well against Alabama outside of offensive rebounds and free throw shooting for Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Like they played well. they played well enough to beat about how many teams are in Division I? 350 something, not 362. They played well enough that day to beat 355 teams. They didn't play well enough to beat Alabama because Mark Sears was out of his mind. He was so good. And Charles Barkley praised Nick Pringle. That's all well and good. I know he was good on the offensive glass, and I love throwing some credit their way because a lot of his points were hustle points. That whole thing worked because Mark Sears was absolutely freaking elite in everything he did. And Clemson's a good defensive team. They rotate well. They scheme well. He was constantly putting pressure on them. And when you hit 7 threes in a row on top of some of those cross-court passes that he's making from one baseline to the opposite 45, like he was elite in every sense of the word. For a college basketball point guard, they didn't come better than Mark Sears on that day. He was awesome. Point blank, period. As far as Clemson is concerned, what a run. PJ Hall coming back. He's fought through injuries. He's done a lot of things throughout the course of his career. His number will be hanging up at Little John Coliseum. There's no question in my mind. There's no doubt. And let's be honest, there's a lot of depth. There was a lot of depth to that team this year, which is one of the reasons they made it so far. They did a nice job cultivating, getting Joe Girard in one year who hit 100 threes or more. Chase Hunter finally got going. If Chase Hunter was that Chase Hunter all season long, I think Clemson would have gotten a different seed. But everything, worked out the way it did. And that was a terrific coaching job. I thought they should have gotten to the tournament last year, the year before they did. It's kind of part of it at this point. Like I feel like Clemson's going to be in the mix every year from here on out because NIL's changed the game and Clemson has NIL to spend. So that I think they're going to be in the mix, for the long haul at this point, especially with Brownell as head coach. At this point, I'm not saying lifetime deal, but he's going to do it on his own anyway because this was year 14 and like he's just keeping on going. He likes Clemson. And he's a hell of a coach. And I'm biased because I work for him. I get all that, but he deserves to be there. He's done a terrific job. He stayed out of the papers during the wrong times, and now he's winning on top of that. That guy needs to stay there for as long as he wants to stay there.
Yep. I will just say about Alabama and the job that Nate Oats, and that was really well said about Clemson. I'm glad I wanted you to be able to get your platform to hype up.
Yeah, got to give him credit, man. Like he's done a great job. He's put up with a lot of shit. Like people just who don't know what they're talking about, they get bored, so they want something different. Like
you got a lot of people. You got a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about, man.
There's a lot of people. Well, football country. That's bottom line. We're in football country. I live in football country. It's part of it. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well, between that and the state of Iowa, a lot of people don't like it.
Dude, I can just knock out states one by one. Line them up. I'll knock them down.
Iowa, Alabama. What's next? Rhode Island.
I'm not mad at the entire state of Alabama.
Does anybody think it's like? I think I did think about this. Like we got, and it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe I'm the only idiot who thinks this way. But we got a team from North Carolina, a team from Connecticut, a team from Indiana, and a team from Alabama. Everybody's going to Arizona.
Come on.
We're all going across the nation. I mean,
how about the fact that Clemson plays Alabama in the finals of their region? They play it in Los Angeles.
Of course. Oh, wow. Yeah, right, exactly.
And then Alabama's got to fly all the way back to Tuscaloosa just to fly all the way back to Phoenix. That's always going to be a good time.
Do they go back?
Yeah, you go back because the NCAA pays for your stuff.
Yep.
That's the one time of the year they pay for everything.